Most teams begin their observability journey with logs. They are easy to add, they show you exactly what happened, and whenever something breaks, logs are usually the first place you look at. Logs basically capture individual events, but those events often include metric data points. They include status codes, they include error flags, they include latency values, etc. Now, as system scales, team want dashboards that shows trends over time, like error rates over time, request volume per minute, latency percentiles, all of those. Now, these all of these data, they can be extracted and they exist inside the logs. But when you build dashboards directly on top of this raw event streams, or when you run queries on top of this raw event streams, aggregating this high volume of data repeatedly quickly becomes slow and inefficient. The problem is we are asking the metric question while still relying on logs. Hello, this is Simran, and today we will talk about how to convert logs to metrics with OpenObserve. We'll cover what are logs and metrics and how they tend to solve different problems. Where in the overall architecture of converting logs to metrics, OpenObserve pipeline fits in. And then we'll also see a step by step demo of converting Kubernetes logs into a metric stream. By the end of this video, you'll have a clean metric stream which you can use for dashboards, for alerts, for SLOs without losing your log stream. So let's start with the first thing, which is what are logs, what are metrics, and how they differ in terms of the purpose they solve. Logs basically record individual events. They are very detailed. You can have it per event, per request. They have high cardinality and they tell you what exactly happened. Now, these are good when you have to debug or when you have to do root cause analysis. But running queries on top of this is expensive at scale. Then we have metrics, which is a form of telemetry data, but those are aggregated summaries. These basically are a high level view of the trends or the counts. They have very low cardinality. So they tell you how often did it happen, how bad it was, is it getting better or is it getting worse? Those kind of questions are answered by metrics. Now, when you build dashboards on top of this logs, you are basically paying a high cost for questions that don't need that detail. Let's take an example to understand this. Suppose you have the events coming over log. Okay. You have logs recording individual events. Now, what you want is you want the total request in every 5 minutes. Like, what is the count of request received every 5 minutes? Now, if each time you query this data on top of your logs, you are basically parsing all the event records you have, all the fields in those records. So the resources aren't efficiently utilized. And when this is done at scale, your queries do run slow. So what we can do is we can aggregate those data over a period of time. Say for past 5 minutes, I get the count of events I received, and then I can create a new metric out of it, which is the total request count. Now, when I run any query on top of this metric stream, I don't have to run through a bunch of different log events. Rather, I'll have one single entry for each 5 minutes. So that is how you save cost and you optimize for efficiency. So the solution isn't to get rid of logs, because we need logs when we want to do the root cause analysis and we want to dig deeper. But the solution is to derive the right metrics from those logs. This data, we have pipelines. Let's talk about OpenObserve pipeline. So in OpenObserve, pipelines define how data is processed after ingestion. There are two main types of pipeline. One is real-time pipeline, which runs per event. Like each time an event entry is ingested, the pipeline runs and does the processing and stuffs. These real-time pipelines are great for enrichment, filtering, routing, forwarding, etc. And then we have scheduled pipelines. These basically run at a fixed interval. You define a time window for it to run. So it runs after a particular interval. Say you define the interval as past 5 minutes. So it gets all the entries recorded over the past 5 minutes and runs on top of them. So this is ideal for aggregation. So given metrics are time based by nature and we need to do some aggregation on top of the data, so scheduled pipeline becomes the ideal choice for converting logs to metrics. Now there are few building blocks which creates a pipeline. So we have the source node, we have the transformation node, and we have the destination node. So source basically define where the data is coming from and from where to read that data. And then we have transformation node. If we want to apply any filtering or enrichment, we can make use of this. It can be either a condition based filter or a function for enrichment. Then we have the destination node, which defines where the processed data will be written. So if we take a look at our flow, what we'll do is for converting logs into metrics, our source will be the log stream. We'll run a SQL query to aggregate that data for that log stream. And then we'll apply transformation, filtering based on whatever conditions we want. And then we'll write it to the destination, which will be a metric stream. Here is a high level overview of what we are building. So the first step is logs are getting ingested in the log stream. And then we have a scheduled pipeline running, which runs at every defined interval. And the scheduled pipeline, it reads the logs from the previous window, it aggregates them, and then writes the result into a metric stream. So as a result of this flow, what happens is your log, they stay intact for debugging purposes. And then you have metrics which can power your dashboards and alerts without things running slow and becoming inefficient. Now we have done a lot of talk. We talked about why we are doing, what we are doing, and bunch of stuff. Now let's actually see this in action. We have a Kubernetes log stream which has got bunch of data. There are different fields here, code, labels, then pod name, namespace name, and a bunch of stuff. You can ingest this data into your OpenObserve instance. Just head over to OpenObserve documentation page, and here in the getting started section, and load your sample data, you will find the URL to download and to extract the sample Kubernetes log. Once you have the file extracted, you can ingest that data into either into OpenObserve Cloud or self-hosted installation using the curl command provided here. You can update the username and password based on your instance. If you head over to data sources page and under custom, you have the curl command along with the username and password specified. Just update this JSON message to the JSON file as specified in the curl command here. Now, once you have the data in place, we want to work on top of this log stream and get it into a metric stream. So, okay, we don't have any metric stream as of now. So let's just create one. And given, if you see, there are a bunch of different fields. Each time I want to say I want to get the count of events for past 5 minutes, I don't need to parse through all of these fields. These are a lot of fields and I don't want to parse through all of them. All I need is maybe the timestamp, and along with that the pod name, maybe the namespace name, and a bunch of stuff. Not all of them, right? So we need to create a metric stream which prevents us from parsing all of this data. Let's create a schedule pipeline to create metric stream from the log stream. Remember, you need to enable usage reporting for your OpenObserve instance in order to see the events getting triggered or the pipeline running. So if I search for usage reporting, all you need, we have a detailed blog around enabling usage reporting. All you need to do is just set the usage reporting enabled environment variable to true, and you're good. It will start collecting the usage reported data and adding it. And the default organization where you'll get all this data is a meta org. So this is the default org which I am in currently, and I can get the data in the meta org. So let's create a pipeline. So our source will be a query. In order to create any metric stream, there are a bunch of fields which are mandatory. There are 3 fields in total which are mandatory. First is name, which is the metric name. Then there is type, which is the type of metric. It can be a counter, it can be a summary, it can be a histogram, gauge, etc. Then we have another thing which is value. These 3 parameters are needed in order to create a metric. So we don't want all the parameters to be passing. We don't want all the fields which are present in the logs to be transferred to the metric stream. So we will just specify whatever we want. Let's just name our metric HTTP request total. Okay, and set this as the name. Great. Now, given it's a counter, we want the count of all the events over past certain duration. Let's specify this as counter. Great. And we want the value to be set as the count of events. So let's just count all the events in the specified duration and save it as value. So value should be a numerical value. It shouldn't be a string or so. Then apart from that, we might also want to group this request count based on certain parameters like maybe pod name. Yes. So we'll group by pod name and maybe the container name as well. Okay, great. Now, we also want to pass these the pod name and container name as labels for that metric. So we'll pass this Kubernetes container name as then Kubernetes pod name as pod name. Let's run this quick. So this is what I'll get. I'll get the name of the metric, the type of the metric, the value, the container name, and the pod name. Great. Let's just validate and close. And this is our source stream. Currently, we don't want to apply any transformation, but let's set the destination. If we don't specify this, the data is reaching nowhere. The pipeline won't get created. So HTTP request total. This is a very simple pipeline. You can have multiple different destinations. You can also make use of remote destination. You can just pass it. You can have a metric string created in OpenObserve and then maybe pass it to some other destination. Can be anything. Can be OpenObserve itself or a different connection or a custom one. Great. So this is a simple, we just want to get the logs into metric stream. So we are good with this. And let's just connect the pipeline so that it understands where the data should flow and let's just save it. Okay, pipeline name is required. Yes. Cascades log to metric. Great. Okay, kind of we missed the timestamp in our query without, yeah. Any stream in OpenObserve needs a timestamp. We need to specify the timestamp as well. But given we are collecting the data over past 15 minutes as defined, so we need to fetch the latest data. And in order to do that, you make use of the max function. Max of timestamp as timestamp. Great. If I run this query, yes, we get the timestamp added. Because 15 minutes is too much for this demo, let's keep it 1 minute. I don't want any delay in the pipeline running, so let's validate and close and just save this. Great, we have this pipeline created. And if you see, if there are any errors which is being encountered by our pipeline, this will be the error signal and you can look at the error message. So let's just ingest in some more data so that we can see if our pipeline is functioning as expected. Now, if we take a look at the metric stream, our metric got created. Let's take a look at the events we have here. We have the metric name, we have the timestamp, we have the labels, which is container name and pod name, and we also have the value. Now, if I take a look at the different container names we have, all of them are grouped and we have the values. Now if I want to get the count of request over, say, like the trend of total request over past 1 hour, the data is grouped for 1 minute. This is easy to query. This is very low cardinality. We have only defined number of fields, but with logs there were a lot of events, there were lots of fields, so the operation would have been costly when done at scale. So our pipeline did not run into any error, but let's produce one. Let's just remove this type and let's see what happens. Let's ingest the data to produce an error and see if we get any error. In here, you can click on this to see that, okay, the derived stream has reached 3 retries and it will be retried again in the next schedule run. So we need to fix the reported errors. So let's move to the meta org. Here we have the error stream where we can see, filter and see what went wrong. So if I go to the pipeline name, I can filter based on the pipeline name and all of them are related to the log2 metrics error. If I take a look, the first event is okay, derived stream has reached maximum retries, okay, but this actually doesn't highlight what the error was. So another thing is, okay, this is the error. The ingesting matrix is missing the type parameter, so it ran into error. Exactly what we wanted. So that is how you make use of the usage reporting to debug the errors for your scheduled pipeline. Schedule pipeline gives you a clean bridge between the raw logs and the actionable metrics. So go ahead, make use of the OpenObserve free cloud trial and try out this demo. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you have any queries, feel free to make use of the comment section. You can also join our Slack community. We are quite active there. And yeah, do subscribe to our channel for more updates.